All right, y'all. So I'm going to be freestyling this one out. It's going to be a tangent about a couple things. So, first, I will start off with ego death and pride death. Ego and pride death is actually a thing for myself because the last couple years I have been going through it. I'm still going through it, but I feel like I'm at the end of it. I still feel like it's kind of like when you take a drug and you take the drug and it comes on and you start feeling it and you go through it, the effects, and then it starts wearing off and you start withdrawing from it and it's gone, but you're still foggy headed from it. That's how I feel with a lot of the things that I used to be conditioned by, you see? And see, for myself, I know for myself that the thought of this world has nothing to offer me anymore. And in order for me to explain that, I don't quite, I can't put it all in one video because it's way too much. So what do I mean by the world has nothing to offer me anymore? When I look at all this stuff and I see how people are, the reasons why they do the things they do, the reason why they say the things they say, why they go to work, why we watch what we watch, why we want to be a part of what we want to be a part of. I already know all that stuff for myself. I already have this thing figured out for myself. And I don't go for this. I said this before in some of my older comments on other channels. I just seen a comment where I said this, and I don't believe in this comment anymore. The one that says they know actually doesn't know anything. I forget how it goes. It's you think you know everything. When you think you know everything, you don't know nothing. I don't know exactly how it goes, but I don't agree with that because when you know a lot of things, you know a lot of things and you understand a lot of things and you have had it happen so many times in different ways and you've seen it with other people. I've seen it with other people. I've seen brother shoot brother. I've seen people die from overdoses. I've seen drug addiction. I've been stuck up in the ghetto before trying to cop dope. I mean, the list goes on and on. If I sat here and said everything, and do I know everything? No, I don't know everything. But the things I need to know, I know for myself. And see, I gave up the search and seeking and looking for something. You see, this enlightenment thing that goes around, this spiritual seeking and enlightenment thing, I fell for that about 5, 6 years ago, but I didn't fall for it, if that makes sense to anybody. You see, I went on that whole seeking thing, searching thing, looking thing. And listen, I will say it's actually a good and a bad thing. I can't call it a good thing and I can't call it a bad thing because I can't label that thing. It was something that it led me back to myself in a different way. It made me see everything differently. And when we are told See, this is the thing that angers me about this kind of stuff, and this is why I'm doing this video. People are going to do what people do regardless. I'm not trying to stop anybody from doing what they do. I am not forcing anybody or telling anybody to do anything I do or be like me or act like me or think like me or go about doing things like I do. I'm simply telling my side of my own life with this. But when this is put out where we are told that there's something more to us that we're missing, we're not enough as we are already. When we were children or teenagers or whatever, and then these fake gurus and these wannabe spiritual leaders that come about, and they're everywhere. They're all over the place. I mean, and see, it's hard for me to talk about this because I got something from some of these people that I'm calling fake gurus and wannabe spiritual teachers and leaders. I got something from them, and I still watch people like Osho, because Osho has a lot to say. Osho has a lot of wisdom in the area of not seeking, in the area of knowing yourself, accepting yourself, things like that. But he throws in a little bit of certain things. But I'm pretty sure that he even claims that I don't know if I know he uses the word enlightenment, but I don't know if he says there's no such thing as enlightenment, or it's the point of enlightenment when you realize there was no such thing as enlightenment. Now that's what I'm saying. How he says things are a little different. But anyway, when we're told this is literally the lie that is being spread and told all over the place, is that you're not enough. There is way more to you than what you are right now. Now, that is true in a sense of you don't know everything for yourself. Of course, I didn't know a lot a little bit ago, and I had to find out things for myself, to know things for myself, because I believe I have to know myself before I do what I really want to do in my own life. And I'm not going by the thought of the world anymore. I'm not going by the thought of what I think others want me to do or how others want me to live for myself. In that way, yes, you don't know everything, and you learn more things along life. But when we're told that we're not good enough, then it makes us insecure. It brings about this false sense of insecurity that I'm not enough and I have to try to prove myself. I have to try to go looking and searching and seeking for something because I'm missing something. Something's missing with me. They told me that I wasn't enough and I need to get this enlightenment thing. And let me tell you, if there is any such thing as enlightenment, what I think it means for myself, Enlightenment means to know yourself. It means to know things. It means to learn things and be able to break that down and get honest with yourself. That's what I see the word enlightenment as. But see, what is seeking and searching doing? It just takes us on this wild goose chase. We're looking for ourselves. How stupid. Yet at the same time, I learned something from that of how stupid it was for me to even go on that in the first place, because I was already fine the way I was, even though it made me learn certain things like repentance and compassion for myself, because I learned things that were missing with that I needed to work on myself or see myself. Yeah. But see, it's very hard to describe this. It's very hard to put this into the words that I want to put them into, because it's a very strange and odd thing. Even though all it did was lead me back to myself, I can't call the seeking and the searching and all that, I can't call it a good or a bad thing. It just helped me to interpret things in my life. It helped me to break down things more and be honest with myself more. So I give it credit, but that then at the same time, I don't need it anymore. So it's not a bad thing, but it's not a thing that you just stay stuck on for the rest of your life. And this is what a lot of us are doing out here. We are trying to find something that we're never going to find. It doesn't exist, y'all. I'm telling you, it doesn't exist. But if you go on a search, if you go looking, if you go and you're trying to find something for yourself, you're going to learn some things and you're going to see some things and you're going to experience some things. Yes. But through it all, you're gonna come right back full circle to yourself. And you're gonna realize the whole time it was you that you were running from. It was your own reflection that you were running from. It was you not facing yourself, because they told you you weren't enough, so you felt insecure and, oh, I gotta go looking for it. Someone out there has the answers for me. And then what do? We look for that validation in other people. We look for that validation in these gurus and these spiritual teachers and these, quote, enlightened people that act like they're enlightened. And really, I don't know the words to put there. I don't want to say something that I don't mean. People that say they are enlightened are insecure people. People that say they are chosen are insecure people. Because if you knew yourself and you actually cared and had self-respect for yourself, you would not have to call yourself chosen or enlightened. You wouldn't have to do that. And I hear this all over the internet, all over YouTube. We are literally in the day and age of this spirituality thing where it's new people popping up everywhere claiming they have answers or claiming they have a way or claiming this, claiming that. I can do this, I can do that. If you do this enough, if you work enough, if you're religious enough, if you're spiritual enough, then eventually you're going to arrive. I'm there. I'm enlightened. I see everything now. It doesn't exist. It doesn't work like that. Like I said, if the word enlightened means anything, it is being absolutely and brutally honest with oneself and knowing oneself. And you know that non-duality is the truth of the truth of the truth, because non-duality is reality. And nature is a killing field. Like Daryl Sloan said on his channel, nature is a killing field. But see, these spiritual teachers, these gurus, they won't tell you that side of it. They just want to tell you the bright, fluffy, light, enlightened. Everything's going to be fine, fine, fine. And look, that's cool, because even Alanis Morissette has a song, and everything's going to be fine, fine, fine. 'Cause I got one hand in my pocket and the other one is smoking a cigarette. Like, I like that song because it's in the moment. She's saying, right now, I'm going to be fine now. It doesn't mean it's going to be all the time, every day, fine. It's a song that is an expression. See, this is something that I think is lacking so much in our world right now, is authentic, genuine expression in the moment. And all I see is a bunch of trying to be. Why do we try to be? Why do we try at all as people? The word try is not in my vocabulary. I will never, ever, ever try. I will never try for anybody. If anybody tells me, oh, well, try to be a good person, try to make something happen, at least try. No. If you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. If you're trying, you're lying. That's how I see it for myself. If I am trying to be something, or if I'm trying to find something out here, I'm trying to seek and find the thing I've been looking for my whole life, that's what I'm going to be doing my whole life. And I've given up. I've given up the search, folks. I've given up the seeking part. And I know what I want for myself, but I still have days. I still have those days where non-duality, nihilism, knowing one day I will die, thinking about death, one day the universe will die. Woody Allen talks about this. Charles Bukowski gets into some of these things. See, I am someone that I am on both sides of the coin. I am white and I'm black. I'm up and I'm down. I'm left and I'm right. I'm sky and I'm ground. I'm hot and I'm cold. I'm depressed and I'm joyful. I can never escape that. And as long as I'm being honest with myself, however I feel or what I'm experiencing or whatever my mind is reflecting back onto itself, I am never going to bullshit myself for other people. And this is what I see for myself. I see a lot of people bullshitting themselves and bullshitting other people. They're putting on something for others. And this is why I say the world has absolutely nothing to offer people like me. Nothing. Nothing. This is why I know for myself, I want to get away from this matrix as much as I possibly can, even though I know that I still have to be a part of this. I'm still gonna have to be a part of this whole thing. There's no way, I don't think, that any one person can fully escape it. I mean, there are people that, like I said before, there's some people that just go off in the woods and they live in the woods alone and they don't come into the city. They don't do none of that. But see, I'm not built like that. I won't lie. I'm not built like that. At least not now. I'm not built like that. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll bump my head, or someday my mentality will change and I will just completely break and I will just go. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for me, but all I know is all that I'm ever going to have is right now. That's all that I'm ever going to have. My past doesn't matter. The future will never come because there is no such thing as the future. There is no such thing as the past, really, when you think about it. It's just a series of nows. It's like a time reel going, and it's just pictures of now. But anyway, I know this sounds cliche. I know this stuff. People already know this, but sometimes you got to get very basic with things again. See, it's almost like we're too prideful and egotistical to come back to the basics of things, to come back to natural things for ourselves. Now, when I say natural, I am not talking about what goes on in nature with animals and bugs and the cruelty of nature. I'm talking about natural things like eating natural food, fruits, vegetables, not processed things, not greasy, oily, syrupy things. I'm talking about getting back to natural things so that someone like me can live a healthy life, because I don't want to be unhealthy. I don't want to be an unhealthy person. I've already been unhealthy and I already know what physical problems and mental problems and all of it. I know what all of it is already because I've been through it all. And see, this is not me being boastful, but there is nothing that anybody is going to tell me at all for me in my life, because I already know what I need to know for myself. And see, someone out here might say, well, what do you mean you know everything? You're being cocky, you're being arrogant, you're being bold, you're being boastful. No, if you're somebody that has broke all this down and you have been taking a brutally honest look at it all, and you have been around tons and tons and tons of people, and you have isolated away from people, and you have studied people and things, you have looked into history, you have looked into everything you can think of, there comes a point where you start seeing the repetition of things. You start seeing things over and over and over, and it can be a different person, but yet that different person is saying the same things as the other people. They are believing the same things as the other people. They are following the same things as the other people. They are going by the same things as other people, and it takes on a repeat. And, what are you supposed to do when life takes on a repeat time and time and time and time again? This is the same thing that has happened with my own ego and pride death. Is I got honest with myself. And it's a shame to say, but there are very few people in this world that are going to get brutally honest with themselves. That's just the bare naked truth. Because if people were getting brutally honest with themselves, a lot of what I see would not be how it is. A lot of the things going on would not be going on. Like how I see all this every day, and people doing things they don't really want to do. And like I said before, yes, when we need something, we have to do things that we don't want to do sometimes to provide a need, to sustain our life. I understand that. I'm talking about everything besides that, though. People acting like something they're not when they come around other people because they're scared to be themselves. People portraying all the good, all of the optimistic, all of the fairy tale, everything's going to be good side of them. But you never hear the real side of them, the frustrated side of them, the angry side of them, the side of them where if they do have hate, which I have, it's a kind of righteous hate. I only have hatred when I see pure ignorance and pure greed and pure corruption and pure misunderstanding of what someone's doing to themselves through ignorance and misunderstanding. That's what I hate, because I know the things that I was doing to myself. That's why I hate it. See, when I see people, I do not hate anybody. I don't hate anything on this planet. I only hate ignorance, stupidity, corruption, and misunderstanding. That's what I hate. And see, it's a shame, but people carry that because we don't understand ourselves. And this is my ego pride. This is my ego and pride death. When you understand yourself and you look into understanding things and you're being absolutely brutally honest and real with yourself and authentic and genuine, and you're actually seeing things how they really, really are, you are going to experience a similar situation to what I did. You are going to go through an ego and pride death. And it is going to be something where it is going to crush you like a can. It is going to make you depressed. It is going to make you feel lonely and isolated from the rest of the world. It is going to cause you to feel like you've been completely obliterated. You are going to feel absolutely broken. You will weep for people, places, and things. You will weep for people that were in the Holocaust. You will weep for people that have killed people in the name of money or pride or some other stupid, irrelevant, dumb little petty thing. You will weep for the state of this world. You will weep for animals having to suffer and go through what they go through every day. I have wept for these things, and I have wept hard and long. And I literally felt like I died when I did this. And if I'm being honest, if I'm being absolutely honest here, I've already died. I'm already dead. I'm already dead. So I have no other choice but to live now. I have no other choice but to make something happen that I want to happen in this life for myself, because I know the world has nothing to offer. I know that the thought of this world is corrupt, it's confused, it's misled, it's deceived, it's under a spell in every way, shape, and form. And this is how I see the ego and pride. It's a spell. It's a kind of curse that has been bestowed on us from what we thought was the good thing to do in life, because our parents or the TV or the indoctrination box, which is the TV, or our schools and all this told us, they were just trying to get us to live the way that they were told to live too. And it's a lot deeper than this. It's a lot deeper than the words that I'm saying. See, words can't even put into context what it is that I'm going for to get across to people. Sometimes words can't even do that, because in order to explain it fully, it's many different things that a person has to go through and experience and has to see for themselves. And if you want me to be honest again, this is going to be a hard pill for people to swallow. It's going to sound very harsh, but a lot of the times, people have to have horrible, bad shit happen to them for them to understand or put themselves in the shoes of another person. That's what it's going to take for a lot of people to wake up from this illusion of how they think the world is, and the world really isn't. And the more that we're running from ourselves, the more that we're lying to ourselves and other people, the more that we're putting on, the more that we're in denial, it's just going to keep this ultimate bullshit going. Yeah, there's little things that we got to deal with where I go, this is bullshit, I don't want to deal with it, yada, yada, yada. But see, there is a hypocrite like me that's an honest hypocrite, and there are dishonest hypocrites. And see, dishonest hypocrites are the most dangerous people in the world, because they don't even realize their own hypocrisies. They don't even self-reflect on themselves. And this is what scares me as a person, because when I see that in someone, I'm going, damn, this person doesn't see it. And how can I say anything to them? Because I already know more than likely what's going to come about if I call it out for them, or I say something to them, because I actually do care about the state of their lives, but it's like you can't really say anything. And there's something that I said this in the last video, but I'll say it again because it pertains to this video. There's something that John McAfee said in one of his interviews. He said, "What I want for this world is for each person to understand their place in it." But yet again, how many people are going to actually understand understanding itself and are going to end up in a situation or place or time in their life where they go, there's nowhere left for me to go. I've already done that. The world has nothing to offer. I want to go off in a land of my own, but yet I still have to deal with this thing to get there. See, what do you do when it's like that? You can't do anything besides do what you're already doing. And I feel like a hypocrite because I still have to be a part of something that I don't really want to be a part of anymore. And then I'm here and I'm doing a video. And what I'm going to end the video with is this. This channel is not the way that I really want to run this channel. And I'm being absolutely honest here. The reason that I don't do more on this platform is because the place that I am in, like I said, the walls are paper thin. You can hear right through them. When I really want to do what I want to do, how I really want to express myself. See, I'm someone I am very reserved. I don't like bothering anybody else. If I go out and I walk somewhere and say I would record a video, I will not record a video around a bunch of other people or people. I will go somewhere where it is me with myself so that I can vent what I need to vent without being disturbed or without disturbing another person. And that's just how I am now. Will I stay like that? I don't know. Now that's how I am. Because I am someone that I do not like bothering. I do not like upsetting. I do not like invading someone else's quiet space or private space. I'm very particular with things like that. And if I know that I'm going to be bothering my neighbor, then I'm not going to do it. And I got to hold back, even though I still do make music and I write and I do this in my spare time all the time. I'm just not putting it out right now. I'm not releasing things. I'm not, like I said, I'm not in an apartment or a room where I can do my thing in there knowing that I'm free to do it and I'm not bothering anybody. And I know that I can do it whenever. I can make a video whenever. I can make a music. I can record whenever. I can, if I have a green screen, I can make some kind of funny, weird, whatever video I make, whatever it is. See, I feel thwarted right now. I'm not in my free place. I'm not in my place where how I want to express myself. And some other people might say, oh, well, that's an excuse. You can still do things. You can still go out and whatever, and you can even do it in your car and this and that. But that's not something that I want to do. I just don't want to do that. I like being in my own space. I like being in my own studio. I like being in my own man cave. I like being in my own four-cornered room doing what I do, knowing I'm not bothering anybody. I'm making my own content, my own material, and I'm putting it out for the world. Because like I said, I know that the world has nothing at all to offer me but brainwashing, conditioning, programming, TV indoctrination, politics, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. See, most people are either all about light and optimism and everything's going to be fine, everything's okay. And look, I don't have a problem with that. And some people are morbid and negative and pessimistic and hateful about everything. See, I am always examining. I am always going from one to the other, but I never get stuck on the one. The one doesn't rule my life. The darkness doesn't rule my life, and the light doesn't rule my life. I am a neutral being, a neutral being that is being honest with me. And that's all that matters. I don't need to go and seek all of these things out. I don't need to try to be something that I'm not for others. I don't need to force myself to put on a smile when I don't want to smile. I don't need to do any of those things anymore. And those things are graveyard to me. They have died. They're dead. They're in the ground. That part of me has died. That thing has died. But I still got to live life. And I understand conundrum and contradiction and hypocrisy and irony and yin yang. I understand these things more than most people in the world. I would say that I am at the top of the list when it comes to understanding non-duality, hedonism, nihilism, pessimism, optimism, joy, pain, suffering, animal cruelty, nature. Every word that you can say, I am the epitome of the coin itself. I am black and I am white. When you flip the coin, I am a coin. One day I flip it and I'm white and I'm into the light and I'm into being joyful. Then one day, without me even flipping the coin will flip itself and it will land on the black side. And it will be morbid things. It will be me thinking of the suffering of other people and animals and myself. And it will be the negative things I'm looking at. But I don't get stuck there. And I don't get stuck on acting like I'm all light either. Like everything's okay. And everything's optimistic. And look, everything's good with me. See, that is, to me, that is the epitome of fakery. That is the epitome of somebody trying to live up to an image that they're not all the time. See, good people, quote, good people, cannot admit when something bad comes along. When a spider comes along and bites them out of nowhere, they have trouble admitting that and not being, they'll be in denial of that happening. If they broke their finger because they got angry and hit a tree, more than likely they're going to say, I slipped and fell and broke my finger. They're not going to tell you they got angry and hit a tree because they don't want you to perceive them as a bad person. They want to look like a good person. They want to look like floaty things and optimism and everything's fine and I can do no harm. And then you have people on the opposite side of the spectrum. You got people that just stay stuck on negative things. And not dealing with certain things to make their lives better for themselves, and then they get resentful and they get hateful and they get bitter. I know what this is. I'm literally telling you my own life. I'm telling you how I get myself, and I'm willing to be honest about that. But see, I have learned something in this. When this comes, at least I can be honest with me. I don't have to put on a show on this channel. That's why I did what I did, to be as honest and vulnerable and open as I could possibly be. And I wanted this to be a realism channel. I wanted this to be, and it is that. It is that. I wanted this to be a channel of pure honesty, tried and true honesty. No lying, no deceiving, no putting on or acting like whatever. If I feel a certain way, then that's what I'm going to express. If I'm going through something, that's what I'm going to talk about. If somebody died in my family, that's what I'm going to be speaking on. If I feel like shit, then I'm going to say I feel like shit. If I'm joyful and I'm having a great day and things are going well, that's what's going to be spoken about. And there was a couple other things that I wanted to talk about, but those are pretty much the fabric of what I wanted to get into. And when I say that the world has nothing to offer, what I mean by that is I already know what everybody is doing. I already know how humans think and why they say what they say, why they do what they do, why they interact with people they interact with, why they're jealous, envious, greedy, stubborn. I just know these things because I know myself through and through. And I know how I once was. I know how I still am. And I know how I still can be if I'm not careful for myself. So this is why I don't need anyone in the world to tell me to watch what I'm doing. I don't need that. I already have it up in here too much. I don't need anybody out in the world to say, are you sure you want to do such and such? What's another thing people will say? Have you seen or looked into this thing yet? Yes, I have. I have. There is literally nothing that the world is going to tell me that I don't already know. I know it sounds cocky and it sounds boastful, but it's just true. It's just true. And I know that for myself. I understand that for myself. And I'm not saying this to look like anything or try to portray myself as anything, because I'm not holding on to any image here. I do not have an image. I am not a label. I am not a brand at all. I am a human being what I am. That's it. I am that I am. I am that I am. And there is nothing for me to go seeking or searching or looking for. I am that I am. It's that simple. It's that simple. And see, the thing that happens with most of us is the thought gets to us. We start thinking about everything we've been conditioned and programmed by. We start thinking about those things, and then we think that we have to do those things. We think when the thought comes that I am obligated to do this thing that the TV box, the indoctrination box told me. When the thought comes of something you've been conditioned by, oh, well, I can't let go of that. I'm going to let my people down. I'm wrong if I do something. And I talked about this in the last video, but even when we talk about things like sin, the word sin, to me, what the word sin means is a man or woman that is doing morally wrong things irresponsibly. If you're responsible with sex, it's not a sin. There's nothing wrong if you're having responsible sex. If you're wearing a condom or you're getting tested before you do it, or it's mutual, then it's not a sin. It's something natural. It's natural. These things are natural, but yet we were told they were a sin to do. The thing that makes it a sin is when we're not in control of the situation and we're out of control and we're going past our limitations. That's what makes it a sin, in my view. And it's just like anything else. It's just like anything else. It's just like with Christianity. Christianity, quote, Christianity, because Jesus Christ, whether he existed or not, ever called himself a Christian. That's ridiculous. But anyway, Christianity is a phase that one goes through. You do not get stuck on religion, because religion is a works-based thing. It's trying to be a good person. It's trying to earn your way to get a ticket into the heaven of your own brain. And it even says in the Christian Bible, I'm just saying what the words say in the Christian Bible. And this is what I got for myself. And I really do think that this is something that pertains to my life. It says, your works are like dirty rags to the Lord. Your works are like dirty rags when you're trying to be a good person, but really you're not a good person. You see, when you're trying to look like you're so good, but you know that you're really not all good. We non-dualism again. We are natural people. We have natural tendencies. We have compulsions. We have the word I'm looking for. I can never think of this word. We have impulses. But are we in control of those impulses is the question. Do we have self-discipline? Are we accountable for what we're doing to ourselves and others? And see, this is where I think that a renewing of the mind, that's what it means. Renew your mind. Obtain the fruits of the Spirit. Self-control, discipline, kindness when kindness is needed. I'm not saying be a nice guy. Do not be nice. People are fake people. Nice people are hiding something. Trust and believe that. Now, there are a few people that they're really like that, and people go, how are you so damn happy? Some people are really like that, but most people, they're not. They're putting on when they do that stuff. And see, when you as an individual person can get this brutally honest, this whole perception, how you view everything, will be absolutely different and it will not be the thought of the rest of a programmed and indoctrinated and influenced in a very deceived manner. You see, it's because, yet again, people that are acting or trying to be so good and they're trying to hold up this image, they know that through and through, deep inside, there are things that they have and they do that are not this all the time. And then people that are negative and pessimistic all the time, they know that all of that stuff is not all them through and through. They know that they go out and have a good bite to eat. They know that they look for things that they like and make them joyful. See, it's such a hypocrisy going on here. I can't stand the hypocrisy, but yet the hypocrisy is what makes you understand the hypocrisy. And you know how I think? And I'm just being honest. This is damn good stuff. This is damn, no, not good. Let me not use the word good. That's too easy, and that's too what I don't want to use that. This is damn real stuff. This is damn well stuff for anybody that is looking in their reflection and saying, I'm going to be honest with myself today. Because there ain't too many people that are going to tell anybody this out there. This is why it's very, very, very hard for me to even relate to anybody anymore. I'll be honest, there are small little things with people that I do relate with, but then they veer off into this putting on, trying to be, acting like something that they're not for someone, going off into this what they think the world wants them to think thing, and they veer off into that, and then I get lost in translation, and I say, there they go doing that. I knew that was coming. You see, I have this expectation. Even before the expectation, I already know what to expect. And it isn't that, you're having an expectation, you can't do that. See, I already know this, but what I mean is, when you already expect for people to be how you expect them to be before they even be it, and then they show you that thing that you expected, you go, damn, like, maybe I got this figured out too much for myself. Maybe I'm too deep as a person. Maybe I need to take a couple steps back here, because it's almost like the movie, I feel like Final Destination, where I'm already knowing I'm having a predetermined premonition before it even happens with most people in the world. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want to think like that for people. And I don't want to see people like that. But it's just true. It's true. There are very few times that I'm surprised by something new. There is very few times where I'm expecting someone to do something I never seen, or something I never heard, or actually be absolutely brutally honest with themselves. If I'm looking or searching or seeking for anything that I don't notice I am, It's authenticity. It's genuineness. It's in the moment expression. This to me is the ultimate lacking. That's just for me though. I can't call it for anybody else. I'm only calling it for myself. I think that tried and true, brutally honest, no holds barred self-expression is missing in the world right now. I think it's almost non-existent. That's just how I feel. I see very, very, very few people, and I hate to say this too, because then people go, oh, well, you're not including me. But see, this is for everybody to look back at themselves with. This isn't for me to do for any other person. You know, it all comes down to, yet again, we are in a world of projection, hardly any self-reflection. Self-reflection is highly lacking in the land, highly lacking in this world. People do not want to call out their own hypocrisies. People don't want to expose how they really feel. People don't want to talk about real shit, real down to earthness, calling things out how they really are so that maybe we can change some things. Maybe we can make our lives a bit better. Maybe we can find drugs and medicinal things that are good for us that we can feel better with and we can have a better experience of life. Maybe we can find alternatives to the things that we do. Maybe we can find alternatives to making a food that tastes like animal meat, but it's not animal meat, and we don't have to kill animals anymore. We can get rid of the slaughterhouses. But see, the people that do that, then they're thinking, oh, you're trying to put me out of business. You want to put me out of business, the guy that slaughters the animals. No. What are the alternatives to that so we don't have to keep shedding blood of a sentient creature that feels? And I'm angry with shit like that. Now, have I been a hypocrite? Yes. Yes, I've been a very big hypocrite. I go for long periods of time, and then I will slip up, and I will fuck up, and I will eat the meat of a dead animal that was killed to go into my stomach to provide a need for me. How sick is that? How sick and twisted is that when you really think of it? Now, what if we were the animals and the chickens and the cows and the pigs were us? See, we don't think like that. We don't reverse the roles. We don't put ourselves on the opposite end of the spectrums to call out the opposite end of the spectrum back onto ourselves. And it's always a you problem, pointing the finger at them. They're not doing anything. They're boring. This guy's this girl's that. And it's just a complete and utter lack of self-reflection and putting ourselves in the shoes of other sentient creatures and beings and saying, what are the alternatives to more bloodshed? What are the alternatives to you taking heroin and crack and meth? Why can't we come up with better drugs for our brothers and sisters? I know YouTubers that do drugs, and I understand why you do them. And I'm not against you that you do them, but I know that they're bad and horrible for you. If I knew of a way if I could know of a way to get into a lab and I could come up with something that completely changed the fabric of the human thought and it could make people understand things, and it can make them feel better and live a productive life with art and self-expression and responsibility, and doing it in a fun manner where we all enjoy it together, but yet we're doing different things, I would do that in a heartbeat. And why wouldn't we? Why would we not do that for ourselves and others? Why would we not do such a thing? And I'm talking about for people that are here to stay until we're not here to stay. I'm talking about people that are already in this world that have to live. Because, like I said, I've already died to all of this stuff. I've already buried a lot of things a long time ago. And the moss has grown over the grave. The grave is dirty and you can't read the words, and I'm just there. So I say, well, I don't have any other choice but to live now. I don't have any other choice but to make it the way I want to make it, even through my own depression, my own dysfunctions, if that's what I can even call it. That's just what I am. I am a dysfunctional artist, but yet a dysfunctional artist is always the one that invents the things that we call a genius in this world. It's always the ones that are not understood by the rest of the world. It's always the ones that isolate and are looked at as weirdos. And what are you doing? Why do you do that? See, there are people in this world that are 10, 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years, 100 years ahead of the curve. But a lot of the world doesn't know that yet. And it has nothing to do with a human being being better than somebody. It has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with the dysfunctional artist and person is willing to be themselves at all times, and they do not compromise for the thought, the conditioned, program, indoctrinated thought of the rest of the world. They will never conform to that because they know that there's nothing in it for them. They're on to other things. They're looking into other things. They don't have time for petty gossip. They don't have time for petty, stupid, irrelevant, nonsensical things that are getting us nowhere. That they're not doing anything to improve anything with our health or make things a little better for ourselves, to find alternatives to things. How many people are doing this? Let's just get honest here. How many people are doing these things? And I even feel awkward saying this because I'm not doing most of them either. I think about it and I really want to do it, but right now it's just not that time. And I feel very bothered by that. It bothers me and it makes me feel some kind of way. I'm angry, but my anger is a righteous anger. My anger is an anger where I want people to understand themselves. I want people to look for an alternative for themselves and other people in the world. I want people to start thinking before they act stupidly and ignorantly. I want people to know their place. I want people to be honest with themselves. I want people to self-reflect on themselves. I want people to know themselves through and through. This is what I want because this is everything I'm reflecting on myself. See, once you understand that as a person, you're going to go through this stage where, like I said, you're going to feel like you're a crushed can. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel broken. You're going to feel absolutely shattered, like a glass panel that just dropped 100 feet from the air and it's all over the place. That's how it's going to be, and that's how it's going to feel. I know for myself that's how it was. I can't speak for anybody else, but more than likely, when you're deconditioning, deprogramming, de-indoctrinating, if that's a word, when you're doing that, it's going to seem like you're going through hell. And I still feel some of that, if I'm being honest. But like I said, it feels like I took the drug. It's just a metaphor. It feels like I took the drug. It took a little while. I started feeling the effects. Then I got the full effects. And then I went through the effects of it for a while. And then I'm coming down off it a little bit. I'm coming off of it big time. I'm weaning down. Now I feel like shit. I go to sleep and wake up. And now I have a hangover and I'm feeling lightheaded. I'm feeling foggy minded. That's how I feel right now, metaphorically. I feel like I went to sleep, woke up, and I'm feeling foggy headed from taking that pill, taking that reality pill, taking that realism pill, taking that me being honest with myself pill, taking that I am not going to put on for anybody pill, taking every pill that I can possibly take to understand the pill itself and what it does to me as a person. And I still feel foggy headed. I still feel like I'm kind of in that cloud, but I'm at the end of it. It's just I'm lingering somewhere in oblivion. I'm lingering somewhere within myself and I'm seeing all this and it's very awkward and strange. But yet at the same time, I know things and I understand things. And I can't get away from that conundrum and that contradiction. I can't get away from the yin and the yang, yin, yang. I don't know if it's yin or ying. I think it's yin and yang. But see, little things like that. See, that even interests me. Is like, is it yin or is it yang? Some people say yin, yang, and some people say yin, yang. Now, I think it is two different ways, but see, if there was a person that was so convinced that it was yin, yang, and you told them it was ying, Y-I-N-G, yang, see, our pride would go, oh no, it's yin yang. See, this is how most humans are. We do not want to be wrong about anything. We do not want to admit that the things that we were thinking were things that were getting us in trouble for ourselves. We're in denial of things. And this is what a lot of the world is in. It's in denial. It's in denial of what we are attributing to this existence and the things we don't do and the things we do too much of. And most people don't understand their coin. They don't understand their white side and their black side. They don't, and I'm not talking about race here. I'm talking about a color. I'm not using labels because I don't care about any of that bullshit. I don't care if somebody has more melanin or less melanin. I could give a shit about those things anymore. And that it just goes to show with the label thing. I am not a label. I am a human being. I am that I am. I am self-expression itself. I am great calamity and agape all in one. I am a neutral being. I am light and dark. And I can never escape from that. And I'm not trying to escape from that. I'm not trying to be all light and white. And I'm not trying to be all black and dark. Now, if that doesn't make sense, I don't know what can make sense for the world out here or anybody. I don't know how to make sense. That is the only words that I can come up with to describe what I mean, because those are my words. Those are real words. Those are tried and true words. Those are words that are not putting on. Those are words that are not being fake. And like I said, I want to keep this platform real. I want to keep this platform honest and tried and true, even if I got to seem like I'm an asshole, even if I got to seem like a prick, or I'm doing something that people don't like. I'm still doing it in the name of everything. So look, y'all, take care of yourselves. It's the only thing you can do. I appreciate any support, any donations. You know, this is my time. This is my energy. This is all I have to give as a person. All I have to give is my time, my energy, and my self-expression. If that doesn't count for something for the person that is self-reflecting on themselves, then that means what I'm saying doesn't even matter to that person. And hey, that's fine. If it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. I got to let it go because I know what matters to me. I know what I want to do. I know who I am through and through and what I am. And even saying who or what, I just am that I am. I am that I am, and it's that simple. I don't need to go looking for what I am, even though at one time I went and did that, and that showed me some things, but it still led me back to myself. And that's where I'm at. I'm back at myself. And life is doing what life's doing. It's throwing all kinds of curveballs. Life is chaos. There's all kinds of things going on. I got to do what I can do to provide a need for myself. And that's what's happening. And I love artistical things because that's how I express all this stuff. This is an art. Recording videos is an art. This is energy and art and vibration, and it's literally, if we're talking about a soul, this is my soul right here, right now, as I'm speaking. This is my soul. This is my everything. This is my testimony. My testimony is what I'm doing right now in my life. That's my testimony. I don't believe in past testimonies anymore. I don't believe in that no more. When people bring up their past testimony of how they got saved and like their life became better and everything was fine and all that stuff, that doesn't mean anything for now. That doesn't mean anything for what we're doing right now in our lives. It means nothing. What are we doing right now? That's the only thing that ever means anything, if it means anything at all. So take care. Thanks for any support. I appreciate any donations. I have everything in my description that I am, that I do. And if I'm here, there will be more to come. You know, this is not all that I want to do. These videos are literally just me venting what's on my mind right now. It's literally just me getting out what I need to. It's just me reflecting. This is the philosophical side of me. This is the thinking side of me. This is the side of me that is wordplay, and etc., etc. But I also have a side. See, this is my, let's just say, white, light side. And some of my black, dark side, yeah. But if the coin is philosophy on one side, thinking and all that on one side, the art and the expression and tried and true reflection is on the other side, you see, and I haven't even been getting into that side. I haven't been really getting into the music and the art and the writing too much. I do it all the time, but like I said, I'm not where I want to be to do it how I want to do it, so I'm not going to force myself to do it until I get to there if I do. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to force myself to do something in a situation that I don't want to do. It's just not that time yet, you know, and I that's cool. I've came to accept that. It doesn't mean that I won't do it, but it does. It sucks that I can't do everything I want to do. I can do most of what I want to do, but I can't do everything I want to do right now. And yet again, if I'm doing what I'm doing responsibly, I can do everything I want to do. As long as I'm in control of my own life and I have discipline and I'm being accountable for me, I can do everything I want to do. And you can do everything you want to do. Don't let the world, don't let a preacher, don't let Christianity, don't let your family members tell you that you're wrong or you're a sinner or you're doing bad things if you know that they're not. But we should be able to discern that for ourselves. If anybody's been watching these videos, I'm sure by now we know a lot of this stuff. But I don't know. I can't know for anybody but me. So, yet again, it's a me thing. It's not a selfish thing. It's a me thing. See, we look at me as kind of a bad thing, I think. And it's not a bad thing. Me is everything. I is everything. And I am this whole thing. I am a part of this whole thing, but I do not want to be a part of the thought of this thing. You see what I'm saying? I'm gone from the thought of most of this thing, even though I'm still a part of this thing. See, that's even two different things in here, but it's not separate here, out here, realistically. And I know some of these things, they might sound strange. They might sound weird. It might sound like I'm just completely ranting and going on a tangent. And that's kind of what it is. But at the same time, it's not. I'm actually telling everything. I'm actually saying everything. It seems like I'm not saying nothing. It seems like I'm not saying anything. When actually I'm saying everything, yet I'm saying nothing at all. See, it's the continual contradiction and conundrum going on there. It's just, I can't get away from it. You can't get away from it. And most people see this like that's insane. That's you know, you're kind of losing your mind and stuff. Yeah, I am, and I have. And that's something that I think needs to happen. I think you need to lose your mind. I think you need to go crazy and you need to go insane to understand this so that you can be sane, so that you can have your mind, so that you can know yourself. Who cares what people say? Who cares what the rest of the world says? Because they're always going to have something to say. And the reason why the world always will have something to say about something is because they don't understand it. They don't understand themselves. They don't understand this whole thing. When you have a question, too many questions, that means you don't know for yourself and go get the answers to those small questions if that's what you need to do. But yet again, I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm not forcing anybody to do anything I'm saying. It's just pure self-expression. It's just me saying what I'm saying in the moment. That's all. And this video will forever be gone. People will listen to it in time to come, but it's gone from me. It's already the past. As soon as I press stop, this video will not pertain to me at all no more. I will be on to the next now. And now is separate from this now. I don't know, y'all. This is just the way that I think. I can't help it. This is just what makes me me. I am that I am. And I'm not going to be any other way. I'm not going to ever be any other way. I don't care. I care when caring needs caring, but besides that, I don't care at all. I don't care at all about anything else because everything else is irrelevant. Everything else is nonsensical. It doesn't mean anything for me. And I know it doesn't mean anything for you out there either, but do you know that yet is the question. And, lighten up, live. We're here, live. Do what you love to do. Do what you love to do and be crazy responsible. Because when you're crazy, that means you're being yourself. And when you can be yourself crazy responsibly, you got it. You got it, man. You got it, woman. You got it. You're cool. You're cool. You're not hot and you're not cold. You're cool. You're in the shade, out of the sun beaming, but you're not out of the heat completely. Find that middle ground. Find that balance. Find that neutrality. Find that black and white coin and let it go. Let it land wherever it lands. Don't try to make it land on one side. Don't try to flip the coin and say, oh, I want it to be this way. Let it be what it is. Let it be what it's gonna be. Don't try to make it be anything. Can you feel that right now? Is that resonating right now? I know it's resonating with me. It might not look like it, but this is what I resonate with. I resonate with reality. I resonate with real. I resonate with authenticity, being genuine. In the moment talk. That's what I resonate with. So I know that people that are on the same or similar energy, I know that this is going to resonate. I don't have to try to make it resonate. I know that it's going to resonate for those that it's supposed to resonate with. I'm not chosen. I'm not special. I'm not above or below anybody. I'm another person just like you. Mikasa Sukasa, we're all a reflection of each other. It's just a lot of people don't understand their own reflection. And all that I can hope, all that I can think, not hope. I don't like using the word hope. If you use that word, it's fine. But all that I would like to see is that everybody understands their place in this world, whatever that place is. And I will leave you with that. Take care. Be aware. But don't be too paranoid. balance, neutrality, and freedom to all. Later.